video. What I'd like to do today is I would like to share with you the divine assignment. It's a story that I'm going to tell you that I'm not asking you to believe. But if at the end you feel drawn to me and what I have to say, then it's very possible that my purpose on this planet is to help you specifically. What I'm going to share with you today is very valuable spiritual and physical information, but you will have the answer to exactly what has taken you out of alignment or made you think or feel that your life has gone sideways in any given moment. So let's start by sharing my screen. Let's start the divine assignment story this way. First of all, I'm not asking you to believe what I'm telling you is true, but I do want you to know that I base all of my life on understanding this story as being true. In my personal life, I work my fear and my love stories daily. In my professional life, not only is this what I teach and treat, but it is also my divine assignment to share this information. So let's start here. Let's imagine that every single one of us comes from this space. This space that you see before you is a consciousness. It's a wholeness. I believe it's where we're all from. Over the last 25 years or so, we've gotten super comfortable calling this the universe. It's a conscious wholeness. This space is made up of 100% etherical energy. Well, what does that mean? It means that we're not going to pack our bags and go home for the weekend, but we can find tools to be in this ever-knowing space anytime we want to. For me, those tools are meditation, chakra balancing, yoga, and Reiki. Let's imagine that at the center of this space is the most powerful, omnipresent, and creative source of energy ever known. To me, all religion aside, this is God. But for now, we're going to call this source energy. Around the source energy is the energy of wisdom. Let's imagine that it's possible that every thought, feeling, idea, emotion, and experience ever known is stored here. In human being, this wisdom is best explained through metaphysics. We call this our Akashic records. It's the library in which spirit stores all of the information collected in each lifetime. Around the energy of wisdom is an impenetrable force field of love energy. This energy is called warrior. Warrior's purpose is to ensure that both source and wisdom always know safety, security, and support. Around that is the fringe energy. For the purpose of this story, the fringe energy is a very curious energy, and its purpose is to hold the whole together. So let's imagine that this is where we come from. Why is this important or even relevant? Well, for starters, this is not only where we come from, it's also who we are. If I was an amazing artist, you'd look at this drawing and you'd say, that's a cell underneath a microscope, and that's relevant. Everything in this space and time called human being, everything in earth energy is cellular in nature. For example, the chair that you're sitting on right now, it's probably only about 100 cells. Its frequency and vibration is so low that it's an inanimate object. You and I, we're billions of cells. Our frequency and vibration can raise so high and be so fast that allows us to think, to feel, and to experience. So as long as you can imagine that this is possible, you're going to love this story. So let's start the story. Let's imagine that you are this absolutely beautiful piece of fringe energy right here. And one day you go to Source and you say, hold on a second. Why am I fringe energy? Why aren't I warrior or wisdom? Source lights up and says to you, you don't even know what warrior or wisdom means. Why do you want to be something that you don't even know what it means? And in that moment, you make the most profound statement ever. And what you say to the universe is that there has to be more than just this. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm going to suggest to you that you're being attracted to me right now for that exact reason. You know there has to be more than just this, and you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. You don't want to do just this anymore. That's my purpose on this planet, is to share what's more to those who are on a spiritual journey. So in that moment, when you say to Source, there has to be more than just this, Source lights up and says to you that there is more. However, you have to leave this space of 100% energy, and you have to travel through space and time to a place that believes that it's 100% matter, that it's physical in nature. You and I, we chose human being. Human beings live what we believe is a lifetime. We believe that we live from birth until death. Whether that's 1 second or over 100 years, every moment is a series of events, thoughts, feelings, emotions. We have free will and autonomy. We collect information to be stored in the Akashic records. At the end of this lifetime, when our physical body can't carry any more of the information that we've collected, we perish. And we return back home. We take all of that information and we deposit it into the Akashic records. That is our lifetime. When we choose human being, we do not choose it for no reason. We go through this incredible process called conception to birth. This conception to birth process starts out as this one beautiful event. You decide that you are coming to this space and time. Who are you? I believe that you are a piece of the universe itself, and that is called your soul. I also believe that you are a piece of that warrior energy that is your ego. Soul and ego become one energy on a mission from the universe to experience human being. How does that happen? By forming a physical body. The only way that human beings know how to form this body, how to transfer from 100% energy to 100% matter, is a great deal about what this story is all about. You are a spiritual being that has chose to have a human experience. If you can imagine that this is possible, then you're going to love this story. Before you decided to become human being, Source tells you that you don't go to human being for no reason. We all have what is called a divine assignment. The reason I wanted you to watch this video before you have your information session with me is because I want to be able to tell you what it is that I'm going to gift to you today. I'm going to gift to you some, not all, but some of your very specific divine assignment. Source says to you, you are going to human being for a very, very specific reason. But before you do that, you're going to have to choose who you're going to be. God asks you to choose if you're going to be male or female. Although they are equally as important, each has a different and very specific reason for coming to human being. Male has the task. Female has the mission. The difference between the two are task and mission. If you choose to join me in Soul Healing Protocol, you'll learn a great deal about male and female in the understanding component. Next, God wants you to choose whether you're coming as masculine or feminine energy. Masculine energy's superpower is to speed things up, to take action, and to take risks. Feminine energy's superpower is to slow things down, to be the wisdom and nurturing, to not have to take risks. Things just unfold. And finally, God asks you to choose your navigation type. There's going to be billions of human beings on this planet. Each of them are on their own mission or task within their divine assignment. We are going to work together, but unfortunately, we're also going to work against each other. And there needs to be a way to keep that energetically organized. These are called your navigational types. You'll choose to come to human being as parent or child energy, giver or taker energy, or egalitarian. The next thing that Source shares with you is that you are not going to human being for no reason. There are 3 core values of information that you are going to collect. The first core value is your overall purpose, exactly why you're here. The second is the powerful and empowering story, or the way that you're going to navigate the outside world, the energy that you thrive in. Third, you've never been an individual that you're aware of in that moment. You are going to decide exactly how you're going to nurture and heal yourself. These are called your core values. They are the assignment. You are here to collect as much information as you can about these 3 experiences. We're not going to share this today, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But before we get to that, I want you to know this part of the story. And this is an incredibly important part of the story, because it's going to share with you one of the reasons why you go out of alignment, why you have experienced trauma, why there has ever been pain and suffering in your life. Human beings do not know how to go on this process from conception to birth without being inside of another human being. You pick your biological mother. She is the transportation mode for you to go from 100% energy to 100% matter. And you picked her for a reason, because she's going to have everything that you need to find the experiences, the thoughts, and the feelings of these 3 core values. But she's going to do something for you that she thinks is for her. She's going to choose him, your biological father. Good, bad, beautiful, or ugly, it is only his sperm and her egg coming together that even opens the doorway for you to come into this space and time. Just before you get ready to leave, the universe says to you, as you form into a human being, the moment conception to birth is created, you begin this journey. The conception to birth process is only a mode of transportation. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. Whatever happens in this 9 months, or hopefully in 9 months, is about her. It's happening to her and for her. It's not about you. Mind your own business. And to remind you of what your business is, Source places inside of your cellular memory, deep inside of your bioenergetic field, in the layers of energy that surround you, the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, in your thoughts, your feelings, and your experiences. God places these energetic beacons called your core values. Why? Because here in human being, like energy attracts like energy. So when you arrive and you have a physical body, energetic beacons inside of you are going to attract you to your love story. This is why you've come to human being. This right here is your love story. So the question that I usually get right here is, how come I don't remember this? How come I don't know this already? And that's why I'm here. I'm here to share with you that something happened to all of us in the conception to birth process. If you remember, you are this curious energy. And although the universe told you to mind your own business, you didn't. And during this conception to birth process, you got caught up in events that were happening to her. And you interpreted those events from where you were at, in a place of fear, in a place of never having experienced that before. You chose fear without your awareness. Let me very quickly explain to you what that looks like. In science, human beings have decided that there are 3 stages in the conception to birth process where a great deal of activity happens. Science calls these areas zygote, embryo, and fetus. I'd like to suggest that metaphysics believes that they are something completely different. These are energetic traumas that we stored inside of our cellular memory that we've actually replaced our core values with. And these fear stories are real to you, whether you have conscious awareness of them or not. Let me explain. Here you are traveling through the conception to birth process, and you're so excited to begin this journey, and something happens. Something happens in which you interpret your mother's state. Her sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system has gone into overwhelm. Something in the outside world has triggered her, real or perceived, we don't know. But her brain, her heart, and her biome have shut off to their lowest operating capacity. She has gone into fight, flight, or freeze. And in that moment, adrenaline floods her system. But nothing activates its release. She is not either capable or aware that she's gone into this traumatic state, and she doesn't activate the vagus nerve. So serotonin isn't created to wash the adrenaline away. And the adrenaline seeps into her muscles, her tissues, her organs. Wham! It slams into you. And in this very first trauma that it slams into you, you create this belief, ooh, it's hard to be human. And in this moment, you create your very first trauma. A downloaded belief that you've stolen from your mother's experience. You've grabbed a hold of it and you've said, yeah, it must be hard to be human. If in this moment you decide this contract isn't for you, that's okay. You can go back home. You, however, think that this is amazing. And you are so excited that you're starting to form a heart and brain. And wham, does that second trauma not happen? Now, you are absolutely shocked here because you have thought all along that your impenetrable force field of warrior energy, your ego energy, is going to support you. And it has not, or you believe that it has not. And in this second trauma, you create the belief that you are alone and you're unprotected. Now, should you choose to go back home at this moment, she would know. It would be a miscarriage. You, however, you decided to stay. In this moment, something very precarious happens. In metaphysics, we call it the illusion of separation. Soul and ego that were meant to be one, in this moment, they energetically separate. Ego says to soul, this mission's going to be a lot harder than we thought. I'm going to ask you, soul, to move to heart. Remember the contract. Remember the core values. Ego, I'm going to move to the brain, and I'm going to support this body. I'm going to protect this body at all costs. And in this moment, an illusion of separation is created. Soul moves to the heart, ego to the brain, and warrior energy starts focusing on the outside world. Now, if in this moment you decide that you're going home, that is also your perfect right. But if you choose to stay, which you do, you have now started to forget about the core values, because ego does something with the most beautiful of intentions, but a complete lack of awareness. Ego says, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start placing these fear stories at the top of our awareness. And soul in that moment does nothing to support. Now, you decided to keep going, and you started forming muscles and tissues and bones, and you're about to be born, and you think this is amazing, and wham, does this third trauma not happen? Here, you start to reason as ego. Hold on a second. If human being is hard, and we're alone and protected, but we're choosing to be here, does that mean that we're bad? That human being is bad? And in this moment, ego places the energy of your fear stories. The fear stories are, it's hard to be human, we are alone and unprotected, and we're bad. Ego places these fear stories into our bioenergetic field. What does that mean? It means that like energy attracts like energy. And we start to focus on our fear story instead of our love story. All of the sudden, we're born. We are in this space and time. For the first 5 years of our life, we are struggling to protect ourselves from these fear stories that we can't seem to understand why they keep attracting to us. It's hard to be human. We're alone and unprotected, and that somehow we believe that we're bad. We can't figure out why these energies are coming at us, because at the exact same time, we're struggling to remember our purpose. We're struggling to remember the way that ego was supposed to navigate the outside world, and the way in which soul was supposed to navigate the inside world. What I'd like to do, with your permission, and by booking your appointment, you are giving me permission to come into your bioenergetic field. I want to name for you, in the exact word and in the exact energy, what these fear stories are for you. Why? Because when you know something's true name, it can have no power over you. My purpose on this planet is to make sure that everyone knows their fear story, so that they can take its power away, so that they can remember their love stories, so that they will be in alignment with the mission that they're on today. Should you choose to book the appointment with me, this is what will happen. You will receive your fear stories, all 3 of them, and what they mean. You will receive a video of me actually channeling them for you so that you have that information to review over and over. There is no obligation to work with me. This information is my purpose on this planet. What you're also going to receive on that call is how I'm going to help you. How I'm going to help you is going to be one of 2 ways. One, I'm going to introduce you to Soul Healing Protocol. It's my 22-week online program that takes you through a 5-phase process. Today, you did the first phase. You heard the story, and when you book this appointment, we will reveal for you exactly what your unique fear stories are. If you embark on soul healing, you will go into understanding. It's a series of videos that is going to teach you more about the divine assignment so that you can understand yourself at depths in which you've never experienced before. After that, we go into healing. It's 5 one-on-one sessions with myself or with one of my bioenergetic therapists, where we actually go in and we heal the trauma. The first 2 sessions, we go into what is called epigenetic energy. We go into your parents' and your grandparents' trauma, and we heal you from generations of non-beneficial energy. The next 2 sessions, we heal your habits and beliefs, what you've created in this lifetime and what you've passed down to your children, even if they haven't been born yet, and to your grandchildren, even if they haven't been born yet. And I'll explain all of the epigenetics in understanding. After these 4 sessions, the 5th session, we're going to raise your frequency and vibration to a space in which you can actually remember your love stories. And that will take us into the next phase of remembering. In a live channeling session, we will remember your 3 core values. And finally, we're going to deprogram all of these fear stories out of the 12 most important areas of your life. This is called growing. In growing, once we deprogram the fear stories out of those 12 areas, we will reprogram your light stories in. This is called self-mastery. This is how I will help you.